mic doesn't work, does it? Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm just going to go with it. How are we all doing tonight? Welcome to the Stand-Up 101 class. There's 15 motherfuckers here to make you laugh. Are you ready for a goddamn marathon? Because I sure am not. You'll see me up here all night with my shining, beautiful face and my white shirt with little cartoon characters on it. I'm very professional. I'm going to do some time up front so you can get to know me a little better. It's 2019 and I'm cutting people out of my life. Who's into that? Yeah! I'm just going to do that all night and be like, do you agree with this? And you go, yeah. And I'm like, I own you. No. I can also just do it. My 5 minutes on stage is just y'all staring at me. Now, like I said, I'm cutting people out of my life. And the main focus of those people are people my age, at the age of 28, in 2019, that still do whippets. You don't know? You know these people? You know these people? Children. You don't know what a whippet is? It's like a drug that evolved from Cool Whip. It's a drug for children. I enjoy seeing whippets, though, because that's how I know that VCU is back in session. You see empty Cool Whip bottles, whippets, who knows? Fuck it. This is so weird without sound. I moved back from New York. That's a little thing about me. I moved back because New York ripped my dick to shreds. And when I was in New York, I used to do this thing every now and then called getting blackout drunk. I would get blackout drunk and lost a lot. Continuing my story. I know, but the mic is a part of it.
You could just pretend, right?
I know. Technical tip.
It was working earlier, though.
I know. It's my luck.
Can you do 5, please?
I'm doing 5. I'm doing it.
Just do your 5 minutes.
I gotta do this for an hour and a half. We need sound. All right. I would get blackout drunk and lost. Okay. And it got to the point where eventually my friends would give me their Uber account because they were worried about me. Which you should never do if your friend gets blackout drunk. And I'll tell you why. If you miss an Uber, it costs that account holder $5. And if you're blackout drunk on Prozac and allergy medicine, you think the Uber is a monster out to get you. Where do you run to? The subway every time. What do you do on the subway? You fall the fuck asleep because you feel safe. Yes! Thank you, Nicole. Give everybody applause. Take this pick. There you go. Everybody gets thanks and applause. Where do you wake up on the subway? Coney Island, every time. That's the answer to the end of that joke. What do you do at Coney Island at 7 in the morning? You play skee ball. That's like all there is there. And then you can go back to your uncles on Long Island, who you could never talk about sports with, but you can now talk about how good you are at this Carney game. It's great. The holidays just ended, and I was with my parents a little more than I wanted to be. And I realized that I'm way too close with my mother. Is anybody else like that here? Some mothers are here. to watch their children be debaucherous. I'm much too close to my mom. I realized recently that I could get a tattoo on my neck that says, "Fuck you, Mom." And it would give her like one moment of pause before she was just like, "Thank you for including me in your family." I have a girlfriend now, so I'm not so lonely. I have a girlfriend and she says stuff that you shouldn't say in real life, so I take it and say it on a stage for her. The other day, half asleep, she turned over to me and said, "Little people have the same size penises as normal people," and then went to sleep. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? I'll tell you what I did. I didn't Google it. I went on Pornhub for 3 hours. It turns out they do have normal-sized dicks. When I asked her how she knew that, she said Game of Thrones and left the room, as if that's an answer. It's not. But yeah, I learned something that day after I finally did Google it. Dwarfism is a bone disease, and there ain't no bones in your dick. Next time you see a little person walking down, give them a high five for the hammer they're carrying around. They deserve it. I'm about to move back to Jackson Ward. I haven't lived there in 10 years, and I'm about to move back there. And it brought back this story that I had forgotten about for a very long time. When I moved there when I was 18, I was moving in a desk that I had just bought from Walmart with my own fucking money. And I'm moving it inside, and this bald man, this very strong white bald man with neck muscles, you know, the ones that you can't get in real life? He came up to me and said, "You owe me $700 for cocaine." And being young and not that witty, my only comeback was, "No, I don't." He didn't like that answer, so he proceeded to headbutt out the glass panes in my door. So moving back to Jackson Ward, I'm reminded that I never got addicted to cocaine, but I did get addicted to stealing stop signs from around my neighborhood to better fortify my household. It's not illegal, y'all, unless they find out. I'll finish on this. I'm getting stronger, as you can see. This sweater wasn't a choice to hide anything. I'm very swole at the moment. I'm getting stronger, not for cool reasons like doing backflips on beaches, as some do. I'm getting stronger so that from now on, whenever I'm on top during sex, my arms don't shake anymore. There's no coming back from that. Are you guys ready for a great show tonight? All right, your first comedian's very funny. Let's let him hear. Give it up for Lance Czarnecki.
So I brought my notebook up here. I actually have my set memorized. I just wanted to show you guys that I can afford a moleskin. So my name is Lance Czarnecki, and that's actually very confusing because me and Patrick actually used to mispronounce it Czarnecki. One time I actually said in front of my mom, Lance Czarnecki, and she was like, "What? Who are you?" And you know, it's all very confusing because growing up, everyone would just call me faggot. And you know, Polish names are like quite funny because drug companies have been stealing them for centuries. Take your favorite prescription medication and add ski to the end. Adderallski, Ritalin-ski, Vyvanse-ski, Percocet-ski. The list goes on. They just go down to Chicago, look at the names on the mailboxes, find one they like, take off the seat. It's evil. I've recently become very familiar, as I've become more active on Facebook, with a recent phenomenon called wine moms. You know, they post things about like going to the winery with the girls, and you know, the more you look into their lives, the more concerning it gets. You know, when they're like, just dropped off McKinley at soccer practice, time to unwind with a glass of wine, and it's like Wednesday. You know, they might actually call wine moms by their clinical term, alcoholics. And you know, I love like when people just incorporate really weird things into their personalities. Like people with like dogs, like you know, a tough guy with like a German Shepherd, you're trying way too hard. And then like people like also kind of become their dog, or their dog just really does embody them though. Like, you know how like golden retrievers are like awful, like they're just so annoying. Like they're just, oh. Yeah, I hate them. They're all inbred. Did you know that 70% of golden retrievers die of cancer? I'm glad you guys think this show's funny. I forgot what I was saying. Okay, next. You know, I love being critical of like innocent dog breeds and like people who get like really weird things into their personality, but I'm guilty of this also. About a month ago, I was diagnosed with mono and strep at the same time, and I had a mysterious ulcer on the back of my throat. So, yeah, it soon became a part of my personality. Like, I was out with my friends, and I backed up and I hit another car, and they were like, Lance, I think you really need to like leave a note. And I was like, no, I just need to rest right now. I have mono, and so I actually, like, the ulcer went, no one knew what the hell was happening with that ulcer. So I got a full STD screening, and the funny thing about STDs is at any given moment you have a solid like 1/2 of all of the symptoms. It's like fatigue, like anxiety, like a little bump, you know. So of course I had an ulcer in the back of my throat, and I had like mono, so I had half of the like symptoms of like HIV, syphilis. So I was convinced I had syphilis and HIV. And I was just like, you know your life's shit when you're like, please, I hope I have herpes. Please. Just take the antibiotics and get it over with. Oh my God, herpes. So, I was like thinking how you guys reacted to some of these. I don't know if I want to go on. So I've recently become familiar. Oh, 1 minute. So I've recently, I have so much to say. I've recently become familiar with a phenomenon called woods porn. Yes. So I've had an internet connection since I was about 6 years old. That's like just something that, yeah, I'm in that era. You know, I'm not post-millennial. We didn't have woods porn, we had cake farts. We had, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we all have Google now. 2 girls, 1 cup. I'm pretty sure I had a lot of the things going to make me gay, and then that just, the stars aligned, and that was like okay. That's all I have for today. Thank you.
Lance, everybody! All right, I was promised we could fix it back to the other mic. Where is Jonathan at? He's right here. Where's the other mic? Oh, well, fuck it. We're continuing. Are you ready for your next comment? Let's give it up for Anthony Brazeau!
I legit contemplated doing a fucking good start. For a raise of hands, can I see how many people in the audience are single right now? You are my people. The rest of you are weak. So I've been single now for like 2-ish years, and I can say I'm happily single because my last relationship I would classify as a little bit toxic. She had this thing called jealousy, but it was only like about my girlfriend. So it's like I couldn't talk to them too long, I couldn't text them, I couldn't hug them. But she didn't give a shit when I jerked off with my guy friends. Some of them were here. And so another thing that she got on my back about was like every time I cried. Like, crying feels good, sometimes you just need to get it out. But she's like, why are you crying? Are you lying behind my back? Are you cheating on me? Did you finish a Netflix series without me? She didn't give a shit though when I cried because I didn't get to jerk off my guy friend that day. So being single for like 2 years and some change, I've learned like what to and not to talk about on first dates. Don't bring up that your girlfriend cheated on you. Don't bring up that she cheated on the guy named Rivers. Gross. And don't bring up Harry Potter. Because Harry Potter girls are fucking crazy. I know y'all are out there, and I'm doubling down. When Harry Potter girls find out that you haven't read the movies or watched the books, they lose their shit. I put on one of my dating profiles that I've never seen Harry Potter, and I had more matches than I've ever had in my fucking life. For girls to tell me I'm a fucking idiot. And then unmatch me. So I caved and I looked up my stupid house. I'm a Hufflepuff. There she is. So Hufflepuffs, we're the most loyal of classes. Our colors are yellow and black. Our animal is an otter. And none of that means a goddamn thing. So other things, people we're just into weird shit. So I'm like constantly amazed that we've come so far as a species. Like we've dominated nature. We're on the top of the food chain, but like us as humans are pretty fucking stupid. And so I look to nature as inspiration because like sea turtles. They will have babies and lay hundreds of eggs on a beach and just like peace out. And like the babies will hatch and immediately know to crawl to the ocean where they survive. Independent on birth. I am 28, my parents still pay my cell phone bill. There's this breed of feline predator in the wilderness called a marigold, and what they do to attract food is they will mimic the sound of their prey's prey. So when they're hungry, they will stalk a certain animal, hide, then make a noise that makes that animal come out thinking they're about to get food, and they will pounce on them and get to eat them. I still have to look up how to hard-boil eggs every time I do it. Every fucking time. It's not a breed. I know. There's this bird called a bowerbird. So when they're trying to mate, they will go and pick up this is a bird by the way, will pick up twigs in the wilderness and build a little stick structure out of that. Then they will decorate this stick, this is fucking true. They will decorate this stick structure with like blue things they find in the wilderness. Some of the birds. And then they will decorate their stick structure with only blue items. And if the female finds that attractive, then the bird has to dance for their affection. Then, if the bird likes the dance, then they can mate. I don't even know where the clitoris is located. Put a pin in that because we're circling back to it. So I just learned this recently. This is a true fact, it's not even a joke. The Electric Slide, everyone knows that song, is about a vibrator. Very true. The singer just came out recently and said that. So everyone's been to a wedding where their 80-year-old grandma is just like a song about a vibrator. And I think that's something that only like female sex toys can accomplish. Like male sex toys don't have that same pizzazz. You couldn't be like dancing a song at a wedding. It's like it's not your girlfriend. It's a fleshlight. Have that same feeling now. And I think that's because female sex toys are important because guys do not know how to make girls come. So there's been generations of women dancing at weddings to a song they have no idea what it means, but they're like, for some reason I relate to this. Let's pull that pin out because we're going to be talking about being clit illiterate. find out where the clitoris was located on someone. I was just young, dumb, and full of cum. I had no idea what I was doing. And the first time I was ever able to explore was with my first physical girlfriend in 9th grade. In the movies, this poor girl had to try and enjoy Mr. and Mrs. Smith with half an arm up her like I was doing a puppet routine. I don't know why I thought it was located in the back of the vagina, like a uvula in your throat. Like you had to locate it like Indiana Jones looking for a lost artifact. Too many relatable laughs. And so I continued failing for years. Not years, I didn't need her that long. And so when I finally struck gold was on my trampoline at home, because that's how you buy a trampoline. Not to jump, but to hump. And so I was after my failed dig again, I was like, oh, and I drug my hand out and I accidentally hit it on the way out. And she jolted like she felt pleasure for the first time. And I remember thinking, oh my God, it's on the outside? Why didn't anyone tell me that? So take it from this Hufflepuff. It's on the outside, everybody. Thank you, that's my time.
Keep it going for Anthony, everybody. Yeah. All right, the next comedian coming on stage, she's very funny. Let's give a big hand for Annie Barone.
Hello. What would you do if you found an Indian in your cupboard? Because I know I wouldn't put him in a hamster ball and kick him down the stairs. That is the only thing that I remember about that movie. Ever since I was a young girl, my parents have used the same passwords for everything. Do you want to hear them? Yeah, write this down. My mom's password for everything is basketball 25. Real original. And my dad's password for everything is Reagan 69. My grandparents' password for everything is secret. I'm trying to secure my spot in that will. Hopefully 2019 is my year because I really want that beach condo. Alright. Interesting reaction. I guess you guys don't have beach condos on the way. My grandma, she is such a sweetheart. My mom recently adopted a dog that obsessively humps another stuffed dog. And he humped it so hard he humped a hole in it. And my grandmother saw this and she brought it back to her house and hand sewed it back together. So the stuffing wouldn't get fucked out of it. She so lovingly put it. She also bought a $50 bag of dog treats, and they were just too hard for little Lily the poodle to enjoy. So she started sucking on them, so it would soften up, I guess. And we came over and we were like, oh, what's that? Cool new dog treats. Oh, they're dried Australian bull penises. Why are you sucking on them? This is gonna be a cool afternoon. Grandma, she's a sweetheart. My other grandma's a bitch. After my parents got divorced, she exacto-knifed my mom out of all the family photos, including the ones from our baptisms. So do not fuck with Nancy Barone because she will literally cut you. I've been a vegetarian since I was 7 years old, which is like 13 or 14 years. I don't know, I can't do math. But something that people say to me all the time that I really don't understand is, well, if you love animals so much, then why do you eat their food? And it's like, what the fuck else am I supposed to do? And besides, animals don't eat Doritos or Skittles or ecstasy. That's funny. So, men are disrespectful fucking little twats. Have you heard of that? One time a man threw milk at me. And I was like, how dare you? I like to date older guys. I just find that younger men's metabolisms are just a little too fast. And that can be kind of intimidating. One time a 22-year-old insisted that I enter his apartment by getting a running start, jumping up onto one balcony, jumping up onto a second balcony, climbing in, and like swinging into his apartment. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm going to your dad's house. I'm not going to use the front door like a lady. I like older guys. They usually have credit cards, so they can pay for my abortion if need be. Which is the only security blanket I need to get in the bed. But I was at this one guy's house, and he had an Amex, and he also had a 10-foot beanbag that we ended up hooking up on, and I ended up squirting all over. And then I went home, and through my own investigative reporting, found out that beanbag retails at over $400. And the cover's not removable, so you can't wash it. So it might be his beanbag in his house, but that's my beanbag. To the core. Thank you.
Barone, everybody! Moving right along, we have a very funny comedian coming to the stage. I'll just get drunker and worse as the night goes on. All right, let's give it up for Erin Riley!
I get it. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. So I go shopping at night because of you and people. I'm not really such a fan. I like pizza way more than I like people. And recently I transitioned to online shopping because now masturbation just takes up most of my day. Amazon and I are in a very, very intimate relationship. Every day, packages show up with my name on them. And every time I see a UPS driver, I get so excited. What I truly desire is a man who will fuck me to death, so I can come and go at the same time. I want my last words to be, I'm coming. We all have different life goals. And just because my headboard is a tombstone does not mean that you get to skull fuck me. I am currently taking applications for the lead role male in my life. Please include both headshots and make sure your tongue is sticking out. So I've been single, obviously, for a very, 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 very long time, or as I like to call it, successfully rejected. I've searched the world far and wide, long and very, very hard, and I've gotten to try all the flavors of clowns, fishermen, and you guessed it, pinball wizards. Now, everything I say is true, and I only say it once. I joined a pinball league, thinking my prey would be easy. I chose my victims based on their finger speed, high score ranking, and marital, multi-ball status. I got one date out of my efforts, so not a total loss. But more importantly, I gained an international ranking. Hell yeah, I put that on my resume. I dated clowns exclusively because of the size of their shoes. Went out with a mime, had a wonderful time, but unfortunately, never heard back from him. And then sadly, I discovered that fishermen are far more successful at catching syphilis than supper. So my friends suggested to me that I get out there, meet new people, try new things. So I did my research and I was like, let me do something where the ratio is like 100 to 1, odds are in my favor. So I headed off to the International Juggling Convention. It really does exist. I am now a professional juggler. We really do exist. I get paid to play with balls for a living, probably most men's dream job. And I have been stalked, robbed, and even received hate mail. So technically, I'm famous. And obviously I need a bodyguard way more than I need a boyfriend. So my agent calls me the most successful woman to ever keep her clothes on. Even though I allow my audience to watch me have sex with life as I mount my 6-foot unicycle. Yeah. My mentor told me I was gonna suck in the beginning. So I just got down on my knees. And after a week, I invested in some hardcore knee pads, which were a requirement when performing erotic juggling night after night after night. After night after night. So everyone that would be interested in an erotic juggling act has seen my show by now. So to continue my success, I'm moving towards a new demographic of juggling for the blind. That way no one gets tired of seeing me. Thank you.
Erin, everybody, keep it going for it. Next person coming to the stage, he's a coalition regular, he's very funny. Let's give it up for Just Wright, everybody.
I kind of wish I wasn't a little out of breath. People have a hard time believing I'm a narcoleptic queer guy, but come on, look at me. My vibe is pretty sleepy queer boy. And I don't have fancy Hollywood movie narcolepsy. It's more like I would fall asleep driving every day. I'd start to nod off to guitar lessons, and one time I fell asleep giving a guy a blowjob. That's also when I found out that I snore. And as far as being queer goes, when I was younger, I used to call myself bisexual, but as I've gotten older, I just feel more comfortable saying queer, because I would date anybody, please. Anybody? I'll go on. And if you're worried that I'm gonna just pass out on the stage or something, it's okay. I take medicine now. It's Ritalin, which is a stimulant. So now I get very alert blowjobs. They're like laser focused, detail oriented, lesser quality. And if you're considering dating me, something you should know is that I love milkshakes. I would eat a milkshake every day. Well, let me be honest, I eat milkshakes every day. And my favorite probably comes from Chick-fil-A, and I know I'm a queer person and they have an anti-gay agenda, but they have really good milkshakes. And I go, and almost every time I get a chocolate one, and around the holidays I get a peppermint chocolate chip one, and it's over 900 calories of greatness, and they get over $1 million to anti-gay organizations. There's just something special about the flavor, you know? I think I finally figured out it was the tears of their closeted workers. I can't help how their tears taste. Speaking of tears and capitalism, the dog entertainment industry is made to manipulate our emotions. They force you to fall in love with these dogs and then do horrible things to them. There's a scene in Air Bud where they force Air Bud to take steroids so that he can finish Game 7 of the NBA Finals. It's heartbreaking. And there's those poor puppies in the puppy bowl. They give them uppers just so that you can feel something. And there's this movie, Homeward Bound, where the old dog's shadow is running over the hill at the end, and you've been led to believe that he died. What a fucking letdown. That feeling of disappointment when a dog doesn't die. You don't want to cry all its tears for nothing. And if you haven't figured out by now, I have a shy nipple. And if you don't know what a shy nipple is, well, blessed you are. Just imagine looking down and seeing one erect Grecian statue of a nipple, and you look at the other one and it's a deflated hot air balloon. And I just wonder, has that nipple always been shy? When did I figure out if you flick it, it would get all excited again? And is there more hair around that nipple because it's trying to hide? And I'm sure some of you are wondering, like, which one is it, Josh? Well, I'll tell you, it's the devil's nipple. The left one. And I kind of came up with a song to like, pump it up. And it goes like this. Shy nipple's what I'm talking about. Clap, clap. Shy nipple makes me scream and shout. If you see me after I said, please don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Please don't touch it. Don't touch it. I think I finally figured out why homophobic guys are homophobic. It's because they have gross dicks. If I was a gay stereotype, which one would I be? Good, you passed my test. I was trying to weed out the gross dicks and all. It's okay, I'm sure some of you are just shy. You're shy about your gross dick. It's okay, but please, just please don't go home with someone with a gross dick. Thank you.
Just right, everybody! All right, the next comedian coming on the stage, also a Coalition regular. Let's give it up for Gretchen Glaeser!
Everyone's been funny, right? Everyone's been good. Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. I hate it when people say that they're funny and then they're not. Because that's my thing. bothers me because they're lying to my face, and like, lying is my thing. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I guess I get it because I know they're just sad, and depression's my thing, so it's really just rude all around. I don't like it. Can y'all see me okay? Yeah? Okay. Cool. So you can tell I'm pale. Great. I don't love the term pale, though. I think it sounds like an insult. I do love the term porcelain, though. I think it just describes me better. You know, flawless. And just so fragile. And ever since my 20s, just so empty inside. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but sometimes I think other people view me differently than how I view myself. And yeah, actually, I look in the mirror and I'm just like, wow, hello there, Disney princess. Like, we're so beautiful and innocent and one-dimensional. But then every time I ask people what they think of me, they're just like, Gretchen, you're a bitch. And I'm like, joke's on you, that's the one dimension I was talking about. So I may give off the impression that I am high maintenance. I just compared myself to a princess, so you didn't pay attention. There it is. Yeah, but a lot of things that are like considered luxury items or fancy, I just don't understand. Like luxury cars, but I think that might just be because I don't have to prove how big my penis is. I give off a lot of BDE, it's like 12 inches down here. I also don't understand different types of glassware for different types of drinks, but that might be because I carry around a travel mug everywhere I go to disguise the alcoholism. And I think the thing I really don't understand are bidets. I just feel like if you want that sensation, just like try peeing your pants every once in a while. Like I've done it, it's refreshing. So you might have thought when I came on the stage, wow, she's like really, really cool and fancy, but then after that, they were like, oh, she's trash. That part is correct. My mom knows this. She knows I'm a trash person. That's why for Christmas she gave me a $50 Taco Bell gift card with 8 coupons. I mean, nothing says, I love you, Gretchen, gain 20 pounds, like a $50 Taco Bell gift card. Or, I love you, Gretchen, you can't afford a $1 taco. Or, I love you, Gretchen. Here's a $50 Taco Bell gift card. I've seen your bank statements and I know where your money is going. You know. Speaking of my mom, she has the tendency to think that every guy I'm interested in or talking to is just like my dad. Her evidence is a little faulty. She was saying, like, oh, he's wearing plaid? That's so weird, your dad wears plaid. Like, look left and right, a lot of people wear plaid, okay? Stupid. She's like, oh, he likes Elton John? And I'm like, hey, Elton John is an international treasure, Mom. Like, you like Elton John. I'm not dating you. Yeah. I'm dating Dad. And then she was just like, oh, they're both white? And I'm like, look at me, Mom. That's obviously the only thing that's going to be interesting. Oh my God. I'm actually in a relationship now. Clap for me. Yeah, things are going good. We went to a bar the other day, and there was a show on that looked really familiar. I was like, oh gosh, what is that? So I look over, and I'm like, hey, do you know what this show is? And he's like, yeah, It's NCIS Los Angeles. Duh. So we have to break up. Because only my dad watches NCIS. Sorry. All right, that's my time.
Yeah, Gretchen, everybody! We are moving along swimmingly. The next comedian coming to the stage, very funny. Let's give it up for Cassi Patterson!
Hi, hello. Find I get annoyed at weird things, like how ISIS keeps claiming every single act of terror. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised at all if I bombed this set tonight. They didn't claim it as their own tomorrow. Like somehow they get wind of a bombing at a comedy club, an unfunny bloodbath of sorts, about 63 or so victims. The next day in the news, they're like, yeah, just up her. She's ours. We are the worst. So annoying. The more I tell that joke, the more I wonder how far it's the FBI's most watched list. A lot of buzzwords in that joke. Anyway, something that my friends find annoying is that I've been a vegan for about 4.5 years. And over the course of my vegan journey, I've accumulated a lot of vegan marketed clothing. And when people hear that I wear vegan leather, they're like, what's that made out of? And honestly, I have no idea. But with vegan leather, you can kind of say anything if you add the word repurposed in front of it. Like I'll say vegan leather is made out of repurposed tree bark, or repurposed Starbucks straws, or repurposed vegans. Another thing about me is that as a child, I was baptized twice. I'm not bragging, it's just something that happened to me. I was baptized the first time as an infant, classic. And the second time, when I was about 7, my family and I went to church. There was supposed to be a baptism of 2 twins, but they were no-shows. So instead of canceling a perfectly good baptism, the pastor just went out into the audience. He saw my sister and I were not twins, but were wearing identical dresses. He thought, good enough. I was on stage and baptized right then and there. And as a non-religious person now, I feel confident in knowing that if I end up being wrong about the whole God thing, I'm gonna get into heaven regardless. Like I show up to heaven, I see this huge long line of lifelong believers anxiously waiting to get into heaven with their one baptism. And then there's me with 2. So I hop on the adjacent fast pass line. However, the more I've been thinking about this, the more I've grown concerned that potentially the second baptism canceled out the first baptism. Now I'm religiously running empty on baptisms. I should consider getting, that's right, a 3rd baptism. Regardless of what happens to me in my baptisms, I think we can all agree that those 2 no-show twin babies are destined to burn in hell. Speaking of hell, I've been online dating recently. And like a month and a half ago, I was talking to this guy, and he was really into me, right from the get-go. Enough to ask me to send him one of my Spotify playlists. I know, super personal. Like what happened to the days of exchanging nudes? So after a while, I relented and I sent him one of my playlists. And with that, you can see my Spotify username. And he started setting up a series of collaborative playlists we could both add songs to. I gotta say, it's the most commitment I've seen in a man in years. However, it was around the time when we were setting up our barbecue fun times playlist. It was when things kind of fizzled between the 2 of us, which is fine. Things end. But now I'm wondering, who keeps the playlist? Is this an unspoken joint custody? get barbecue fun times Memorial Day, and then he gets barbecue fun times the 4th of July. So yeah, that's something that I'm dealing with right now. Another thing about me is that I don't smoke much marijuana. However, there was a New Year's resolution to smoke more. That is difficult for me though, because after childhood of watching countless nom shows, I am now convinced that any random dealer that I choose to go to will inevitably end up being an undercover cop. I know, if I get busted buying weed, I will be made an example of, and I will be sent to jail. And I want to go to jail. Mainly because, well, I think I'll still be a target because of you repeatedly mentioned my drill baptisms. I won't have my locked up sad times playlist. And I don't think they'll take too kindly to me asking what the vegan option is for breakfast.
Cassi, everybody, keep it going for it. All right, the next person coming to the stage has been my TA throughout this class. So she is fully responsible for all these people getting here. Because as you can see, I'm not throwing much in the pot. Let's give her a big round of applause. Give it up for Carroll, everybody.
Keep it going for Pat Buhse, everyone. You're a wonderful host tonight. You're a wonderful teacher. Guys, I flipped my car recently. I'm okay. I'm not like a ghost talking to you. That'd be pretty cool, but no, don't worry. One of the weirder things about, I don't know if you guys have ever been in like a traumatic accident. I mean, clearly I'm very lucky. Much better people have died for much less. But one of the things that happens when you've been in an accident like that, they take you to the hospital and they throw you in the trauma unit because they don't know if you had like anything going on. They're like, Miss, they rolled me in there. I was like completely trussed up. Miss, you can't move. We can't let you move until we give you an x-ray, but we can't give you an x-ray until you pee. I was like, guys, I clearly peed myself in the accident. I don't think I'm going to be able to go again anytime soon. Like, no, we just need to verify that you're not pregnant. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck do you think I flipped my car? I live in a one-story house with no stairs to fall down. And I drive a PT Cruiser. So I'm trying to kill two birds with one car flip. Also, here's the thing about that too, which I think is very funny. Like you're never gonna see that situation with guys, because I don't know if you know, I think they were worried about the baby getting irradiated if I was pregnant. And like with guys, like you guys know that your balls can still get irradiated, right? If you have an x-ray, and that can like fuck up your future children potentially. So it's about the same fucking, like you're never gonna hear same situation, guy rolling into the ER, sir. He's not listening. Isn't just like men? I'm kidding. Anyway, no. Sir, you cannot move until you get an x-ray, but you can't get an x-ray until you come in this jar. But how am I going to be able to come in this jar if I can't move? Well, you better hope that you and one of these nurses hit it off. Nurses work weird hours. Also, here's the thing, if I was pregnant and my baby did get irradiated, so I don't know what necessarily would have happened, but I have some ideas. Like, there's some best case scenarios here. The first one being not pregnant. That's the one I'd love. Second one being, if I am pregnant, X-ray kills baby, no more abortion. Like, don't have to pay for it, save money. Because I'm not ready to keep that thing. I flipped a PT Cruiser. I cannot care for a baby. Or I realized something. If I was pregnant and it got irradiated, maybe then I'd be pregnant with Car Crash Boy. A superhero with the force and power of a car crash. Because that's how superheroes are made. Some radiation or an angry spider or something. I don't know. I recently got fired, but it was, here's the thing. Like, I was working in an office where everyone loved Trump, and I don't know if you can tell by looking at me, but I'm not a huge fan. But it wasn't because I had like an issue with any of them. It was, we had a Secret Santa, and I got paired up with like the one woman in the office who was like a huge Trump fan. And like, what do you get for the woman who clearly has everything? So I found out that you can buy these vibrators on Amazon that you can link up via Bluetooth to audiobooks. So I got her the one that links up to the Art of the Deal. She fucking loved it. She took a half day, guys. But I did get fired. It's okay, whatever. All right, guys. Okay, thank you so much. Give it up for your Lord Pat. Give it for everyone you've seen so far. Seriously, it's a great show.
Get down, everybody! All right, we're like fucking halfway through the show. How are y'all feeling? Me too. All right. The next person coming to the stage, very funny. Let's give it up for Lauran Berta!
Cool. I gotta apologize, you guys. If I seem a bit unprepared, to be honest, I just finished watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and like any white girl, thought to myself, I can do this. So here we are. Also, look out, because now I'm watching Making a Murderer. No, I've been getting really into all these true crime docuseries lately. There's just so many of them. They're very popular, right? So you've got the classics like Dateline or To Catch a Predator, and then you've got all of these new ones like The Staircase. And The Staircase, in case you're not familiar, is a real show in which season 1 detectives think, maybe she just fell down the stairs. Season 2, they think, fuck, maybe an owl did it? Yeah, I don't know. But I do know one thing, and that's that woman did not die in vain, no. She died for her entertainment. I know. Basically, my weekends have just become me sitting on my couch, binge watching 10 consecutive hours of straight up murder. Yeah, it's gotten to the point where I'm like critiquing the murderers, like, I would have killed him differently. Yeah, and even Netflix is concerned. Netflix is like, are you still watching? Yes, I'm still plotting. I'm watching. Yeah. No, it's awful. So my favorite is when they find the girls locked up in sheds. I have so many questions. Like, mainly, how did it get to that point without anyone raising any red flags, right? Like, sometimes it's not even a shed, it's a rusted out, like, old abandoned boxcar. What are you, an old-timey train collector and a murderer? Like, that's just impressive, really, right? And it's always got this giant bike lock around it that was clearly never made for a bike, no. Like, if you put that on a little basket in front of your bike, you'd fall right over. No. Probably the main reason why I find the whole thing so implausible is that I'm from a big city. I'm from Chicago. Woo! Yeah! It's my one friend here. Yeah. And anyway, so in the big city, you just kind of tend to live a little bit closer. If my neighbor had a boxcar at his place, I'd be like, okay, there's a girl in there, right? The day Amazon delivered that boxcar to his house, I'd be calling the cops, like, you gotta get over here. He was planning to kidnap somebody. No, it wasn't until I actually took a road trip through rural America that I realized where they hide all those girls. Yeah. My friend Brittany and I were taking a road trip out to Fredericksburg one day. That's supposed to be funny. I inadvertently set the GPS to no highways, so we had taken the scenic route. The whole trip was only supposed to take 1 hour. It ended up taking 3 because I made us pull over every other house so I could call the cops. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have called Dateline. Get Keith Morrison over here because I did it. I solved all the missing persons cases. They're all in Fredericksburg. Speaking of being sheltered, my parents raised me pretty sheltered. Like, not sheltered. Don't call Dateline. It was more like all Disney movies all the time sheltered. Yeah. In our house, dang it was considered a curse word. Like any good Midwestern family, we were supposed to say, oh gosh, darn it. Yeah. I guess that's why I'll never forget about the first time I heard about pegging. It was Saturday. Yeah. I also, for a very embarrassingly long period of time, thought cuffing season was called fisting season. And no one corrected me. It was a very cozy winter. Probably too cozy. No, it's funny. So clearly my friends like to make fun of me. Like I'm basically just this innocent little butterfly who loves murder and is just learning about anal for the first time. I was actually out with some of those friends yesterday. My friend Brittany was there. She's kind of the eternally single one in the group. There's always one. But she was super excited. She's finally got this new boyfriend, Kevin. Super cute. So she's got his photo on her phone and she's passing it around. And I see this guy's face and I'm like, I know him from somewhere. But I just can't quite place it, you know? And everybody else around the table is just going around asking typical normal people questions like, what does he do for a living? Where does he live? When it dawns on me, to catch a predator. I've definitely seen him on that show. So it's my turn to ask a question, and I just lean in and I go, Brittany, in Kevin's backyard, does he have a boxcar? Thank you.
Lauran, everybody. Yeah, all right. The next comedian coming to the stage, very funny guy. Let's give it up for Tom Hohman.
Wow, what a supportive crowd. Very supportive, suspiciously supportive. I think there was a lot of pre-gaming today. Very supportive, a lot of mouthwash drunks here. No, seriously, a very supportive crowd for a bunch of NyQuil addicts. I can look at any crowd like this and ask how many of the ladies here have received an unwelcome pic, okay, or been flashed, or God forbid, seen a man, and it's like all of them. It's happened to every one of them, and I don't understand it. But science has come forward with a few theories about why this is happening. And I'd like to know the theory that they have for why we need to call some of these pictures unwanted, because there are no wanted ones, okay? Guys, FYI, if one of these pictures is ever requested, you can be sure there's no like caress before you dress situation happening on the other side of the line, all right? Girlfriend's not home playing a little game of 5-on-1. She is at a party, and there's a whole room full of people about to make fun of your earnest efforts. But one of the theories for this behavior is that it's about establishing dominance, okay? Making it not too different from, say, the volleyball scene in Top Gun. We've got Goose and Mav and their team with the need for speed, and Iceman's crews with the muscle posing, and the only thing you don't see in that pic are the actual penises. I don't know why my voice just went up like that. But it's surprising we don't don't see them because of the short shorts. Those are real though. Those are authentic standard Navy issue UDT trunks, they're called. They've been around since 1945. I don't know what made them appropriate in 1945 because they're a little more Studio 54. But a friend of mine was in the Navy, giving me a bunch of stuff. He thought I'd like a bunch of Navy ephemera, and included in that was a pair of these tiny shorts, and I had the same reaction as when I pulled my girlfriend's jean shorts out of the dryer. It's like, I didn't know we had denim drink coasters. They're so tiny. And before you say, fuck that guy and his miniature imaginary girlfriend. I'm not bragging about having a fit girlfriend, okay? She is imaginary. And she wears a size 2, fuck you. But seriously, the point is that I've dated all kinds, and the tiny clothes to the woman ratio phenomenon scales. Never mind. I take off my tiny shorts, and in private, like lock the bathroom door, even though I'm the only one who lives there private. like cell phone camera, cell phone flashlight. You know, I knew when they were closing that burrito at Chipotle that it should have come with a perineal tear warning. Private. You know, I try on the shorts because I want to be a Navy SEAL, and you know, part of me was wondering if there wouldn't be some magic in those shorts, not unlike Frosty's top hat. But they're just swim trunks, and there were no liners in swim trunks in 1945. So you just take everything you've got and you send it down range, and sure enough, as sure as death and taxes, my whole penis is coming out of the right hole, and all of my balls are coming out of the left. There's just two. That whole situation is coming out of the left. And for the first time ever, you know, I'm thinking, I think I know what this dick pic thing is all about. Because this is too good to keep to myself. I'm posing like a fighter pilot in front of his airplane. I got this whole spilled tackle box meets squeezed toy embolism. It is not magic, okay? This is not Frosty's top hat. This is a poor kid in a bedsheet cape jumping off a 3-story building. But what was I talking about? The dick pic, scientific theories of dick pics, right? Error management theory is another one. That's an evolutionary adaptive cognitive bias, really just about men not missing any chance to get laid. And it's no excuse, though, this evolutionary adaptive cognitive asshole, all right? It's just creepy. Let's reel it in, fellas, okay? I'll say, though, that men are not the only ones with some creepy evolutionary behaviors out there. We can sometimes just get the impression that women are looking for little more than a sperm donor. The first time this one gal invited me up, in fact, no sooner did she set her keys down, she handed me a specimen cup. Pointed me down the hallway. She said, second door on the left. And before you said, I'd never do anything like that. Okay. Just because there's a little restraint at times doesn't mean that these procreative and genetic obsessions aren't kind of leaking out the cracks. I can be out, and before you know it, it's all, I hope our daughters have your eyelashes. You know, eye color is almost a lock for us. But both of our attached lobes have very little bearing on things. You know, there's over 44 distinct genes creating an infinite variation of earlobe positions for our potential children. Hayden, Jaden, Braden, and Caden. And I'm like, I'm sorry, talking to me? Mayday, mayday, Nav's in a flat spin. It's the island of Dr. Moreau in here. Eject, eject, eject. Thank you, guys. When the evening started, did any of you imagine that I would have done 5 minutes on dick pics and Top Gun? Woo!
Yes. Give it up for that shit. Come on, everybody. Up here, killing it. All right, the next comedian coming to the stage, right front. Let's give it up for Manhatten Royal.
Living up to the name Manhatten Royal has been pretty difficult, as you can imagine. When I was born, I was an ounce shy of 11 pounds, and my mom was a very petite woman. When imagine a bowling ball trying to squeeze out of a travel-sized toothpaste. She was so exhausted after having me, the poor lady was actually calling for Manhattan. Doctor, please just bring the strongest thing you can find. I'm kidding, guys. My mom's a saint. She doesn't drink. Her vice is evangelism. It went a little more like, I shall cast this baby out. Amen. Latin. Yeah. My name is also a typo. It's spelled Manhatten. And I thought my parents were just being quirky, wanted something unique, but it turns out the nurse didn't know how to spell it. It's like, lady, you can deliver a whole baby, but you can't spell baby? Alright, just leave it. Nobody will notice. I noticed. I'm also ironically named after the one borough that I can never afford to live in, Zero. Someone recently bought an apartment in Central Park for $238 million. That's the price of this whole city. You can fact check me. It turns out that place was just a walk-in closet with a view and a golden toilet. Shitty standards, I would say, but hey. Manhattan was a really weird name growing up, but it's a great icebreaker, especially when it came to dating. As I've gotten older, I started noticing a shift in one-night stands. Instead of mysterious men, I started waking up to random foods I didn't remember from the night before. A couple years ago, it was about 4 a.m. after a night of partying. I'm sleeping right, and I wake up to this oozing sensation just dripping down my thighs. Sounds kind of sexy, right? It was a milkshake that spilled in my lap. And a milkshake doesn't involve the milkshakes in the yard. And I know what you're thinking. This is loud, right? But I have grown. I woke up to a clean-cut quesadilla just last week. I thought about calling it back, but I don't speak Spanish. I do find that I like food a little more than people. I think we can all admit to that now, right? It is conflicting with my weight loss goals, though. My phone is just full of before pictures, and you never quite make it to that after. Sometimes I actually look back at those before pictures and damn, you actually look good back then. I do try to make a conscious effort to eat clean, though. You know, I'll do a cute little smoothie in the morning, maybe a salad for lunch, and salmon for dinner. Midnight rolls around, and it turns to the fucking Cookie Monster. Ice cream, peanut butter, chips, toast, 2 whole chickens, purple stuff. Throw in some Flintstones vitamins because I like how those taste. Food is like the perfect companion for us lonelies. Speaking of lovely, is anybody else into houseplants? I've gotten into houseplants lately. I think houseplants are kind of like kids for people who knew they shouldn't be having kids, but were also shitty pet parents. Think about it, like you still have to monitor them and water them and verbally encourage them to grow, and that's perfect justification for why I'm always talking to myself. My best friend is also here. She bought me a goldfish once when I was depressed. So naturally I named it Moody. I was depressed because I came down with the flu and a pregnancy scare in the same day. It was one of those one-night stands you can't digest the next day. Moody only lasted 12 hours, and I'm really big into foreshadowing, so I'm super relieved to find out I was not pregnant. So I got a bamboo instead. And it's been great. Like, there's no fuss. You know, if I want to get rid of it, the cops won't get involved. And I don't have to protect it from R. Kelly. But it was a prop from the fish tank, and it's not doing so great now. It's hard to let go sometimes. Speaking of letting go, I'm going through a rough breakup right now with weed. Has anyone ever smoked so much you actually get a seizure? That's just me. Yeah. That actually happened to me a couple weeks ago. I went to my doctor. She said, Manhattan, you should probably never smoke again. I feel so betrayed. I keep the side of my bong in anger. That night, after I reoriented from that seizure, the wall finally stood still, my heart stopped pounding, and all I could think was, yo, that was some good shit.
Keep it going for Manhattan, everybody. All right, moving right along. Next comedian coming to the stage. Very fast talking, very quick. Let's give it up for Morgan Allen.
Some call me Morgan, some call me Daddy. Take your pick. So recently, I went to the eye doctor, and she told me I have a freckle in my left eye. Not on, in. A fucking freckle. And so I panicked because I've never heard of this. And she said, don't worry, it is very normal, and I don't believe her, so I Google it. And it is very common amongst white people. And it's probably because we're the only ones dumb enough to stare into the sun. My cousin's friend Paige once said, does the sun move? I don't know, Paige, keep on staring. And this isn't the first time I've had a run-in with freckles. I actually had these moving freckles when I was younger on my big toes. And so I went to a podiatrist, and he took pictures of my toes and said he's putting them in the scientific journal, and I thought I was cool. Well, now I'm pissed because I realize how much money people will pay you for you to send them pictures of your feet. And I don't know if he put it in a journal or if he sold them to Jerry the Subway guy. But that's okay. So I also finally realized why I'm still single, and it's because my Tinder bio reads that of a 16-year-old girl. That was my brother, I'm sorry. I like my coffee iced and my water sparkling. Obsessed with Taylor Allison Swift. Or it could be the fact that I look like a gay Zach Galifianakis. But don't feel too bad for me because I'm exploring all my options and I'm strongly considering sologamy. And if you don't know what that is, it's when you marry yourself. Then I might have some company. And there are some days I just get so depressed at how single I truly am that not even food will motivate me to get out of bed. And it made me wonder why no one has invented Life Alert for depression. Because I may not have fallen, but I sure as hell cannot get up. And there are still some people who cannot grasp the concept that I like men. For example, my dad likes to think that I'm asexual. And I don't know why, because when I was 5, I asked for 22 Barbies for Christmas. And in 3rd grade, I led a fashion show at daycare. But above anything else, I have always referred to myself as a box of chocolates, and that you don't know what you're gonna get, except you do, and it is a really nice blowjob. Now, I personally don't think I need to come out as gay, and I also hate that term, because I can come out of anything. The last thing I came out of was my mother's vagina 28 years ago, and I have not touched one since. And as it is white people's favorite pastime, gay men also love to appropriate. And most will tell you that there is a strong, independent black woman inside of each of them. But I like to think that there's a fierce Latina in me. Because these hips don't lie. In fact, I told everyone to call me Selena, but then I made it past the age of 23 alive. And I told my dad to call me Selena, and he goes, who? You mean Selena Dion? No, I don't. And I don't let these hips go to waste. I teach Zumba both on land and in the water. And besides the obvious difference, one's on land, one's in the water. Land Zumba is a bunch of middle-aged white women with nothing better to do. And Aqua Zumba is a bunch of old white women with nothing better to do. And I know as a teacher, you're not supposed to have favorites, but I do. She's this 75-year-old lady, and she's everything I aspire to be when I grow up. She wears pink everything. She wears a different hat every class. She recently just got her first tattoo of these lip prints, pink, on her wrist. And I asked her the significance, and she said it's because I play Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk, and he has a line that says, "I kiss myself, I'm so pretty." And that is the level of vanity I aspire to have. One day she came in, and she had on this hat with initials WPC. And I know those are not her initials, so I asked her what they stood for. And she told the class that it was the Women's Parochial Club. And then she pulled me aside after class. She told me what she calls the class, and that's the Wet Pussy Club.
Morning, everybody. Keep it going. We're getting close to the end, y'all. We saved some pretty good ones for last. Let's give it up for your next comedian. They're very funny. Let's hear it for Noir Lett-Durant.
I want to give a shout out to my friend because they couldn't make it tonight. And they're really there for me a lot. I call them a lot, phone calls a lot. My friends are here, you can tell them. But shout out to Suicide Hotline. Y'all really got me through some shit. I called them a lot, but there was some stuff I couldn't call. I wrote a 21 Savage joke like a week or two ago, but then they freed him. And I got, like, yeah, I'm for liberation of black people, but I was really inconvenienced because I was like, guys, come on, you did something to benefit black people for once. I mean, yeah, it was just me, but I kind of wanted that joke to be in the show. A little disappointed. Since I actually break the wall a lot, if anybody in the audience would like to sell me some Adderall after this set, I'd really appreciate it. My psychiatrist won't prescribe it to me because she says it'll interfere with my depression. And I'm like, you're about to lose a customer. These students sell Adderall for $15 a fucking pill. I'm trying to teach her how to hustle, and she's just not having it. So, yeah, selling drugs. I almost got arrested a few weeks ago. So with my friends, and we were outside this apartment complex talking, smoking cigarettes, obviously. And I'm talking to my friend, and I'm like, yeah, you know, the fucked up thing about Southern colonialism is that it's not strict for the people to be there. It actually depends on the removal of the people. And that's what Israel is currently doing to Palestine. So it's fucked up. And they called the cops on me, so all I picked was like, hello? Blacks are outside learning. And as y'all can tell, I like fashion. Not to like, yeah, but I really want to like walk in a show, but I don't know, time and shit. But like, I think with the current climate, I have a chance. Like, give it a few years, and I think I'm gonna be in a Gucci showcase. I'm gonna be ass naked walking down the runway, and chains on my leg and arms. And the line is gonna be called Kunta Kinte. So look forward to that. Oh, and speaking of slavery, yeah, white people, y'all want to get out of that one. I have a Venmo at Gays Only event. I'm introducing a, no, that's my real Venmo, motherfucker. I'm introducing a payment plan for the guilty whites in the audience, so all of you. And we got some tears here. We got gold. Donate at at least 100 a month. Not too much. Silver, yeah, you gotta donate all Black History Month and Pride Month. All right, stepping up, tobacco. You gotta pay for my college, and you gotta fund my art shit. So, use your money. But the final tier, only for the really rich whites. So none of them are here. Tobacco, in which you will live on the farm that I will pay for via donations and become a slave and see how y'all niggas like it. So, really looking forward to that one. And I mentioned donate Pride Month. Yeah, I'm queer. If you couldn't tell, my mom is still pretty mad because I came out to her via Google Doc. And I'm like, I thought it was good. See, what I did was I took a bunch of relatives, dropped them in the group chat, Hunger Games style. Put the link in there, and then I was like, it went pretty good, but then somebody was like, yo, when did you turn out to be a faggot? And I was like, yo, when did you turn out to be an angel of U.S. imperialism? And then my dad was in there like, yo, why did you shout out to Janelle Monáe and Suicide Hotline at the end? Thank you, that's my set. I'm the one. Tell me
Keep it going for Noir, everybody. Get them some drugs, please. All right, we got 2 more left. Let's give it up for your next comedian, very funny, Miss Lauran Serpa!
What is up? That sounded cool, right? I teach elementary school music, so I see a lot of weird and strange, often gross behavior on the regular. And I like to imagine sometimes that I'm in a business meeting with grown-ups who are doing these behaviors. And it would be like, thank you all for coming to the business meeting today. Before we get started, can we make sure we all take our fingers out of our noses, mouths, and underpants? First on the agenda today, I'd like to discuss, Mr. Benson, can you take your mouth off Mr. Connor's arm? He doesn't like it. He's crying. Look at his face, he's crying, he doesn't like it. First on the agenda today, Miss Martin, why are you crawling on the carpet? No, don't put boogers on the carpet again! We have to use a tissue! Let's start this meeting, shall we? So first on the agenda today, I would just like to discuss, Mr. Johnson, where are you going? Oh, clear a spot around the seat, he had an accent. No, don't touch it! That's elementary school in a nutshell. In my job, we use a lot of acronyms. Keep up your GPA. Let's do a PBL. We call our state standardized testing the SOL. And I kind of messed up. Good luck on your shit out of luck test, kid. But my favorite was one I saw a lot in my inbox, the titles of my emails when I was first teaching my first year, and it would just say, cum folder. C-U-M, cum folder. In elementary school. I didn't know what that was, but my imagination took me to a weird place. I was just thinking there's some dark room tucked away in the elementary school. Stressed out teachers just sneaking away to relieve themselves, and then they just gotta store the evidence in the cum folder. Ew! Imagine how awkward it was when I went to my higher ups and I was like, you guys gotta stop jizzing on my email box. They were like, Lauran, wow. It's pronounced cum for cumulative folder. I was like, God, that's embarrassing. They never typed that shit again. I like the idea of Siri. Cool little pocket computer can send texts when I'm driving for me. But I also fucking hate Siri. And I blame her for any accident I've ever been in. I'm like, hey Siri, text Dad, I'm on the way. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Yeah, you did, you just responded to me. Hey Siri, text Dad, I'm on the way. Text Dad, I'm running away. Would you like me to send it? No! That's not what I said. I said text Dad, I'm on the way, you asshole. Dad, you're an asshole, send. I'm sorry if I've already hit you with my car, that's what I'm dealing with. I hate when someone calls a person on speakerphone, surrounded by a bunch of people just kind of have to sit there and listen to this person we don't know ramble on about their personal life and pretend we don't have opinions. Recently on a Chinatown bus, I heard from the seat right in front of me on speaker, "Hey Emma, is it cool if I pee real quick while I tell you about my date with Chad?" Emma didn't ask any of us on the bus if we were okay with that. She was just like, "Yeah, it's cool." Imagine being at your home, in the comfort of your own bathroom, taking a leak, and then becoming aware that like 100 potentially creepy night bus people are quietly listening. It's weird. You gotta draw the line somewhere. I just jumped over the seat and I was like, "Yes, I mind. As a matter of fact, but now that I'm hearing it, A+ on hydration, 54 seconds and counting, girl. I gotta drink more water." I don't know if you can tell, but I'm short. I was like nervous on the way here because I was like, shit, I wore 3-inch heels, they're not gonna know. It's not something I talk about a lot because like it's a condition a lot of people think they have and they don't, you know, like ADD or OCD. I'm talking about these like 5'4" women who are like, "I'm short." I got some questions for you, ladies. Does somebody approach you once a week and say, "How tall are you?" "Oh, under 5 feet. That's legally a midget. You can also get a handicap placard for your car for that." No, but I'm gonna look into that part. Does your mother call you and say, "You know, you should really consider getting pedal extenders for your car because with your seat pulled all the way up, if the airbag goes off, you're dead." Better safe than cool. You ever been caught taking a break in the top shelf at the grocery store, weary from your climb to get the goldfish? No? Then you're not that short. Also, why do you gotta keep the goldfish so high? Gimme. Speaking of goldfish, I love cheese. What a magical substance. Who doesn't love cheese, right? Cheese is so awesome that when people want to take your picture, they tell you to say that word so you can remember what smiling feels like. I also love cats. They're so simple. You know a cat likes you, even if it doesn't know you because it's purring. Dogs, so simple. You know they like you because their tails are wagging. Men, pretty simple too. You know they like you because they'll look at you, say something like, "You got a fine ass!" I mean, I love that. Thank you, that's one time.
Keep it going, good boy, everybody! All right, we got one more comedian on the show, so let's let him hear it. Give it up for Shawn Hambright!
You guys, you made it. Give it up for yourselves. You have fucking made it. Okay. Let's just get through this. I have this theory that a person can be so stupid that it actually drives them insane. Because I think it's happening to me. I think I have the same like goals and desires and foibles and anxieties as everybody else, but I just do nothing about them whatsoever. It's not a healthy way to live. A lot of people my age are well into careers of some kind. They're buying houses, starting families, and all I have to say about anything is,
"Hey guys, you want to talk about how much Westworld sucks?"
Oh, you're having another baby. Cool. Westworld sucks, it's a bad show. I hate it, I've seen every episode. Smart money would have been on Game of Thrones jokes, but I haven't seen that shit. But what I do like to watch is people trying to parallel park. That is my favorite show. It's so great when it happens. Like I'm there for it. I'm pulling up a chair. I got it's like Monday Night Football to me. I'm eating nachos and chicken wings and shit. And I got a little grill. It's awesome. The only thing that would complete that experience is if there were sportscasters kind of announcing the whole thing. So it'd be like, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. All right, it's a lovely day here in Richmond, Virginia. We're here to watch the Contest of Champions, parallel parking. That's right, Tom. Our contestant today, Steve, has been driving around the same 3-block area for 25 minutes trying to find a parallel parking spot, and he is trying to park a 2010 Toyota Yaris. Yeah, and I'm liking Steve's chances today. He's got the home field advantage. He's lived in this neighborhood for 5 years, and he's just located a spot right in front of his apartment. That's right, Tom. You know, you have to wonder what kind of strategy he's going to use today. A lot of people like to line up the car doors and then just back in. Oh, no, he's just pulling straight in. Oh, my God. And we have a ball game, folks. He is not going to be able to adjust adequately from that position. Oh, he is perpendicular to the curb now. And now, oh, yeah, he is backing up onto the sidewalk, and the crowd out here is not happy. That would be some shit I want to watch. So I lost some weight last year. Thank you. It was all okay. I owe it all to stress and poverty. Oh, and cigarettes. Can't forget cigarettes. Sometimes all I had for lunch was cigarettes. I wish I hadn't lit them before I ate them. So I lost weight. It doesn't matter why, but I still had like these leftover fears from when I was a larger person. Like if anywhere I would go to eat, like at a restaurant, they would always just lead you to the most feeble wisp of a chair, and I'm just like, and they're just like, here you go, just ignore thousands of years of physics and engineering, and just trust this will hold your fat ass. And I'm just like, what? No. And then they're like, oh, we have these chairs here, they're made from repurposed wire coat hangers. I don't trust a wire coat hanger to hang up my coat, much less hold up my whole ass. So, I was heating up a cup of coffee the other day at home because my life is terrible, and I put the cup of coffee in the microwave, and the microwave does its thing, and it goes off, and I open the microwave, and a cockroach crawls out. Yeah. Of the microwave. Alive. And I had a few thoughts. The main one was, there's $1 billion worldwide industry dedicated to killing bugs and pests, and goddammit, they're not spending enough. Because you're telling me I can microwave my whole fucking house and still have bugs in there? What is that can of Raid supposed to do? Give me a fucking break. What's that little plastic box? That's just their woodshed. That is... Cockroaches just use that to store their weed whackers and lawnmowers and shit. That's all that is. You're buying it for them. Hey, do you guys like impressions? Yeah! Why? What is the big fucking deal about impressions? All right, I have one impression for you. This is an impression of anybody hearing an impression. Well, that sounds just like them. Fucking parrot can do impressions, guys. Speaking of dumb shit white people like, I'm not into this 23andMe, Ancestry.com thing for a couple reasons. First, what I know about my deadbeat piece of shit biological father, I don't feel like I need to go any further back. I'm okay. And second of all, I don't want my DNA on file anywhere because I don't want anyone to be able to clone me. Because I don't want to find out that clone is doing better than I am. Nobody wants that. You know, I'm walking around and I run into a more successful, better looking version of myself, and he pulls up in a BMW, beautiful woman on the passenger seat, and rolls down the window and yells at me,
"Guess what? I love Westworld, asshole!"
And then he flips me off and peels out. Thank you very much. It's my time.
All right, let's bring everybody up for backstage right now. Thank you all for sticking around. Have a great night. Laugh more. I don't know. What the fuck you say at the end? You say something.
Have a good night, everyone.